Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode where we're going to be looking at the pages from the book of Judges. Last time we met Sisera, and now the battle will commence. You can see on the screen the first panel shows you the location of the battle, and Mount Tabor is what you can see. Now if I can show you the real place. Here we go. So as you can see, essentially exactly the same. The images here are drawn as ever from the actual real place, from photos and that sort of thing. And so the first panel has Tabor, but also it's significant that it has this big weather front coming in, which is going to be relevant to the battle. What's he called? Barak is gathering his army, and so we can see that the army is actually being gathered together. There's men of different clans coming together, and we see a banner of the Benjamites, and a yellow banner which is Manasseh, and that sort of thing. So they're all gathering together at Mount Tabor. So Deborah says to Barak, "Go, for this is the day which God has delivered Sisera into your hands. Hasn't God gone out before you?" Sorry, I can't see that very well on the screen. That's what she's saying. You'll notice then that first of all that the next panel has a view from Tabor. Again, this is from the real place. Let's show you that one. So this is the image I used, I think, as well to draw the actual place. And that as they look out from Tabor, in this case they're actually looking out to the east, not to where the battle will be fought, but where the weather system is coming in, and you can see obviously the big clouds and the rain begin. Then we have her talking to Barak, and he is she's sort of encouraging him to go. Her eyes are this sort of cyan blue. You might have seen this before in the comics. I don't think it's come up in this comic before, but this is the colour which represents the Holy Spirit in the comic. When people sort of are filled with the Holy Spirit, or use the Holy Spirit, or guided, this colour comes up. It also then is the colour of like angels and things like that. And in this case, it's Deborah. She's a prophet, so it's her eyes which are this colour. Okay, then they begin the battle and charge down the hill. Again, you can see more clans' banners. This battle and the fact that there are more clans there are all information which actually you don't get at this point in the story, and actually a lot of what we know of the battle is inferred from what then happens after the battle. So the Bible kind of goes, there was a battle and Barak won, and then they celebrated, and when they celebrated they sang this song, and this song tells you what happens in the battle. Now, because it's a comic and I wanted to present it in a way that's chronologically easier to deal with, I took the information from the song and used them to paint the battle, and also the archaeology and the place. And so from the song we know that the other tribes came and answered the call of Barak. And now in the middle you've got Naphtali's banner, that's his own banners, and then to the right you've got Zebulun, which we're already told. But next to that, Benjamin and Manasseh, and then to the right of his on the screen you've got Issachar, which is the sort of donkey, and then you've got a bull, which is Ephraim. And so the banners and also the different coloured like guys and everything from different tribes are there helping him, and as it says, they had 10,000 men. We don't know how many Sisera had, but we know he had 900 chariots. He may have also had lots of other troops as well. But it seems as though the numerical advantage is on the side of the Israelites. But the plan with the 900 chariots is that they would win because fighting in the plain. So the battle happens at the foot of Mount Tabor, which is the Jezreel Valley. The Jezreel Valley is, completely flat pretty much, and so the chariots have a big advantage, and they're chariots of iron with sparded horses, and they have guys in the chariots with massive armour. The armour's really heavy, but they just stand in a chariot, so they don't have to run around. They just have to steer the chariot and fire bows and stuff like that. The fact they wear so much armour just makes them kind of unkillable. So in essence, it's like having lots of tanks fighting infantry, and they've got no chance. So that's why this battle happens in the first place. On the left, then you can see Sisera and his charioteer. This rain has come up suddenly, and it's like a monsoon, sudden monsoon, which again comes out through the song, and but they're committed now. They're in the field, and so Sisera's kind of making the best of it. And the next panel shows you that the amount of deluge is starting to flood make a flood out of the river. And the next panel across, you can see the chariots, and they're by the river in question as it's beginning to flood out of its banks, burst its banks. And the one who's the guy who's in the chariot with the black horses on the sort of left, he's calling out, oh my goodness, there's lots of water. But you can see there's a big press of guys. So the fact that he knows that there's trouble, they can't do anything about it because there's all these other chariots in the way too. And that's what obviously battles like in the past were like. There wasn't good communication, and it was loud, and obviously there's wind and rain and chariots thundering around. And so here is the scene where you're looking from the position of the Israelites. I should probably zoom out a little bit. There we go. They're looking down from the hill, the Mount Tabor, which is obviously really, really super steep, and they can see the valley, they can see the river, and the river is bursting its bank and going out across the position of the chariots. Then the next image, we've got Barak, who's going charge, and all the men go forwards, but they're also using slings and missile weapons and throwing axes. So we can see a couple of them are slingers and then axes, and then in the bottom panel, of course, you can see the Canaanites. They're stuck in the mud, so their banks have burst. They've made loads of mud churned up by the chariots, making the chariots stop and not be able to move, and the people kind of stranded in all this muddy water. So they got the guys pulling each other out, and in the foreground you've got a guy getting hit by a throwing axe. In the midground you can see a guy getting hit by a stone of a sling, and yeah, just the chaos ensuing, and the horses trying to pull themselves out of the water. And then for this time we'll conclude with these last couple of panels. Let's get them as far over as we can. First of all, we've got Sisera looking annoyed and panicked, and he's sweating and red-faced and angry, and then he's saying, go round, go out of the water to the ones who remain. And then obviously next time we'll see how that pans out for him. The chariots themselves, of course, drawn from period ones. His one you can see, as I said last time, is like an Egyptian style one. It's got these kind of wooden, I don't know if it's sort of bamboo type thing or what, but these sides that are like that. His shield, Egyptian style shield and armour that you can see. And this is how the battle begins to turn as well. See more in chapter 5, where they then tell us more about the battle. So we'll conclude this episode here, and then we'll pick up next time.